So for today's video, I'm going to be going over everything that they talked about when it comes to Diamond Dynasty for MLB The Show 25. We are very close, probably within hours of being able to play the game by the time this video comes out. So I just wanted to get everything all in one video. So if you have any questions, you can use this video as an idea for at least the very beginning of the game. Now also for this video, I'm going to split everything up into different categories. So if there's any one specific thing that you want to look for, you'll be able to hopefully find it real quick. But we're going to be starting out today with the Team Affinity stuff that they talked about. The first Team Affinity that we're going to be getting is called the My Journey Team Affinity, and that is going to start out with 1 silver, 1 gold, and 1 85 or 86 overall diamond to collect initially. In these, you're going to be doing both batting and pitching goals to get more and more points to go towards each team instead of division like in the past few games. While doing these initial team affinities, you will also be able to just keep going in them and continue to rack up more and more stubs, XP, packs, and you'll get to a point where you'll reach the, as of now, voucher for both the All-Star and Finest cards for each team. If you manage to get to that point prior to, let's say, July, then all you'll need to do is take that voucher and exchange them to be able to get the player, whereas if you get to that point afterwards, you'll probably just get there and then you'll get the player itself. Also, when it comes to that 85 or 86 overall diamond, that's actually going to also be a type of captain card, which you can use with each of the 30 Major League teams players. It was also mentioned, though, that there will be about 3 or 4 total team affinities per team throughout the game, so we'll expect more as the year goes on. I probably should mention this now, but if you are a ranked co-op player, you'll be able to get PXP with your players and get them to progress through the PXP, through the programs, through all the different things in the actual game. I believe that wasn't in any other point through co-op, so that's a nice addition for those that do play co-op. Next, we're going to be talking about the multiplayer modes and the new multiplayer program. First, we're going to start off with the new multiplayer mode being the Weekend Classic, where depending on where you are in ranked, that will determine where you're put in the new mode. Also, depending on where you're put will determine what kind of rewards you're actually able to earn. The first 6 games will determine whether or not you're able to earn those specific packs, stubs, and players. You have to win those 6 games. And if you don't, then there will be certain things that you're not going to be able to get. Anything after those 6 games will probably give you a pack if you happen to win, and then it will come down to the end where if you are in the top 10 of your probable 100, or that's at least the number that they used, of your group, that will give you even more rewards. You're not necessarily going to know who you're grouped up with, and I don't think it's been mentioned yet if it's more determined on your amount of wins or your win percentage plus the amount of wins or who knows what, but something will determine it, and if you're in the top 10 within your group, you'll get some extra goodies. Also, these will take place at the end of each ranked season instead of weekends, because I think they just want to make sure that it's actually special to do it. And you can't really grind up ranked if it's every single weekend. Not everybody's going to be able to do that. Speaking of ranked, now this year the World Series is going to be at 800 points instead of 900. There used to be a jump of an extra 100 points between regular season and an All-Star, but now with that only being a 100 point difference, the World Series is now at 800. Also now at 1000, there is a choice pack of the 2 World Series cards, but now in gold. So you can show off that you got there, and if you happen to, say, choose one of them and then pick the other one later, you can do that. Also, for those of you who maybe don't know it, the 800 to 900 part of the World Series will also be in Hall of Fame. Legend will start at 900, and the new GOAT difficulty will start at 1000. Just got to put that out there in case there's anybody who doesn't know that. But going back to the whole 2 World Series cards, when you can pick at 800 or one that you can pick at 1000, that is important this year because of how the new multiplayer program works. Instead of ranked, BR, and events all having their own unique programs, they're all going to be combined into one big program. You can play whatever mode you want, and you'll be able to progress through it. So if you don't like, say, BR and you don't want to pay the 1500 subs to do it every time, well, you don't have to worry about it. But the first program will come out in 3 different waves, where you have the first one that'll have 2 player cards for you to earn, and then the other 2 each having 1 card. Now let's move to the offline modes. We'll start off here with the new mode being Dynasty Quest. In this mode, you're going to be going around a board with a die, trying to uncover the spaces and doing different moments and mini-bosses, and when you make it to the stadiums, you'll do a 3-inning game. Now, when playing these quests, you'll be going for, at first, mainly player cards and potentially some decent packs as well. There will be multiple quests that you can go on, and none of them will ever expire, so if you want to just keep trying to get the players to sell them over and over and over, you can do that. The main way to get these players is by getting them at the stadiums. You will get a percentage of a chance to get them determined by which difficulty that you play the quest on. And you can increase the chances by doing the moments around the board, and you can get perks to help by doing the moments and by getting some peanuts and then spending them at Coach's shop. The one thing to remember when it comes to this mode is once you do the stadiums and once you win or once you lose, as soon as you're out, and you have to do a brand new quest. It's not going to be the same exact board. There's going to be some differences. So make sure that you get all the spaces that you want before actually leaving it. Because of how much they were showing off the new mode with Dynasty Quests, I know there are some people who were worried that some of like the other offline modes wouldn't be in this game. However, they will be. You'll have some initial mini seasons. There'll also be some conquest maps. One of the big things that I know a lot of people really liked with the initial conquest map was the USA, where you could go around and do the entirety of it. But in this game, the USA map is going to be split into 3 separate maps, being the West, the Central, and the East. There's also going to be a map for the Cactus League, which will have all 15 teams from that, so you can also do that one as well if you want a little bit of a longer one. And of course, the showdowns themselves are back, but they're not a major part of Team Affinity, but they are pretty useful for your normal programs. Alright, now we're going to talk about the actual programs and the collections that are in MLB The Show 25, at least to start. The first thing that we got to go through here is the XP cap, because I know a lot of people are worried about the XP cap. Day 1, the XP cap will be for 160,000 experience for just gameplay, not including anything else that you can collect in any of the other programs, or any of the Team Affinity, or anything along those lines. And each day from that first day, it will increase 30,000 each time. So, unless you are somebody who is somehow going to get a total of 160,000 gameplay experience on day 1, you probably won't have to worry about this too much. The inning programs are also back, with each of them being anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks. In the inning programs, there's going to be cornerstone evolutions where there'll be 3 silver players, at least for the first one, and you're going to be building them up to diamond players. They also said that in each of the inning programs, there will be 3 of them for you to collect each time. The first 3 boss players for the boss pack for inning number 1 are going to be Adrian Beltre, Mark McGuire, and Manny Ramirez. In the older games with the inning programs, you were only able to collect 1 of them, but in this game, you're going to be able to collect 2 of the 3, and you can also sell them. There's going to be 4 different categories for programs. We'll have our themed, we'll have our player, we'll have the spotlight programs, and then we'll have the My Legacy programs. The theme programs are just going to be your normal stuff, where it's, over a specific type of program, or a specific type of card, or a specific type of player, stuff like that. And some of the initial programs for this are going to be the Pipeline program and the Spring Breakout program. The Pipeline program also has a collection where you'll be able to get some upcoming prospects, including Walker Jenkins, Roman Anthony, and Roki Sasaki. The player programs are going to be your evolutions, so there's nothing really big to go into there. The Spotlight programs are going to start the weekend after the actual MLB season starts, so we're not going to see anything in there until that point. And then the last one that we have are the My Legacy programs, where it's going to be a year-long thing to track your stats and just about everything that you do in the game. They showed off that for doing all this, you're just going to get cosmetics. You're not going to be getting any players for any of this. I wasn't expecting to get 99s out of it, but I was expecting to get at least something out of it. So it is a little bit of a shame that it is only cosmetics. Even if one of them is a pretty funny one, being just touch grass. The big thing that I'm sure a lot of us are here for, though, are the live series collections. For collecting everyone in the AL East, you're going to be getting a 91 overall Darren O'Day. For collecting everyone in the AL Central, you're going to be getting a 92 Jason Kipnis. For collecting everyone in the AL West, you're going to be getting a 91 overall Don Baylor. For collecting everyone in the NL East, you're going to be getting a 92 overall Jordan Zimmerman. For collecting everyone in the NL Central, you're going to be getting a 90 overall Ted Simmons. And collecting everyone in the NL West, you're going to be getting a 93 overall Chase Headley. The big collection for collecting everyone in the AL is going to be a 99 overall Roger Clemens. The big reward for collecting everyone in the National League is going to be a 99 overall Gale Hodges. And the big live series collection where you collect every single card is going to be a 99 overall Carlos Beltran. Beltran definitely isn't a A-Rod or a Barry Bonds or an Ichiro, but I'll take a Carlos Beltran. Also, back in this game, there's going to be collections for all the different types of player cards that are in the game, but don't plan on seeing anything major for any of them until April 25th. And finally, just to end this all off, I want to talk about some of my thoughts when it comes to Diamond Dynasty and the new content this year. The thing is like, I'm cool with Team Affinity going back to the teams, but I did like it when it was actually divisional, but I can understand why they made it, team-wise. I just hope that we don't only get 3 cards in the Team Affinity stuff until like June or July. Hopefully this is something that they're able to get us some cards and get us some packs and get us some stuff to where it doesn't feel like Team Affinity just feels like an afterthought. I also have a couple concerns about the multiplayer stuff. I'm perfectly fine with Ranked and BR having their best cards exclusive to the modes until potentially a program later down the line, but I'm just shocked that there's no event rewards. Like, yeah, you can get a live series diamond for 10 wins, but without that other incentive, I feel like this will probably be the least played of the main modes. Like, even more definitive than I think it usually is. The most I think it'll get is when it's Moonshot and you can easily get up your hitting stats, or for those that want to do pitching missions like getting wins, but don't want to pay for BR. The other concern is the multiplayer program itself. I hope that maybe it's just because it's the first one that we see, but especially without the programs from all the 3 main modes, I was expecting more cards to earn here. Maybe it's just the first one, and that's why it only has 4, but that's something that we're going to have to find out as we get into the second one, the third one, and so on. Finally, my final thoughts for the game. I'm excited for it. I'm excited the power creep is back. But I think the biggest thing that's going to suck is that the actual counting stats of doing everything in the My Legacy thing just won't get you any players. I get why they didn't want to put 99s because people can very, very quickly, if they want to, build things up and get big 99s for it. But also at the same time, it does suck that they didn't give us like a 93 or a 94 or a 95 or who knows what. Just something to give us for it. But that's going to end off this video. MLB The Show 25 is right around the corner. And this year I plan on putting out a lot more content for this game than I did in previous years, so look forward to all of that, especially with the first video being the very first pack opening and potentially my very first ranked seasons game. So thanks for watching, and I hope everybody enjoys MLB The Show 25.